Hey guys, I'm just having some final thoughts, and I thought I'd put them at the beginning of the video because at the end of this experience was very wonderful for me. So today I went to the Portland Mermaid Parade, and there's going to be a lot of information that I will link down below and thoughts that happened throughout, but I just wanted to preface this all by saying that I think the whole experience was a glimpse into what Portland is all about. And so I invite you to join me on this adventure. And there are a lot of Portland is out there and Portland is woke. So prepare yourselves. It. Welcome to Merrily Marrow. This is the part where I forget what I'm saying, and today we are headed to what the fuck is it? The Portland Mermaid Parade, which I found out about via Instagram. It is hosted by Una the Mermaid, who is aptly named, as I really have not come across any other Portland or Oregon-based mermaids. I'm sure there are plenty, but they seem to be the main squeeze around here. So I'm gonna go rub elbows today, and of course I'm wildly unprepared for the day. I'm running late. It's almost 10. The parade starts at 12. So and I'm out of freaking cat food. So I've got to go get breakfast before I be today. We're gonna go dressed as me and Fumar. This is going to be my opportunity, I suppose, to introduce myself to the Northwestern mermaids in the area, and I think Man's gonna be a perfect choice. It also seems that there might be some, I don't know, media coverage. There's been a couple articles that I found on it, so it's possible that this is my chance to kind of get out there in the Portland community. So I want to, I will go into later why Man was the choice. Oh, this specialty store is closed, so we're gonna go to Fred Mers. But we're gonna have to hurry. It's supposed to be really hot today, about 100 degrees, and it brings me back to last summer, going out in our Bass Life Tail for the first time, and in the 115 degree weather. I got pretty burned last summer, so we'll make sure to do sunscreen. We'll make sure to stay hydrated. But this is the event's going to happen on Poets Beach, and Poets Beach was actually one of the first places in Portland that I went to, and I made a video that I never followed up on my channel that was like, it was going to start another channel that was about like health and fitness, and it just didn't, for many reasons, didn't happen. So I'll get into that as well. But Poets Beach is kind of like this little strip of land underneath a bridge, and of course Portland would call it a beach. Maybe there's a cute little park around it, so maybe it is that I only saw one stretch of it, but I was not entirely impressed. But it is technically a beach, and it is technically a day off, so we're gonna technically go see what it do, and we'll reconvene in a minute. So catfishing is a real thing, but I'm fascinated by the fact that this has taken me like maximum 40 minutes, but around a half hour, and back when I first started this, it was like an hour and a half process, so it's kind of cool to see how far it's come. It's warm! It's so warm! I have to tell the internet it's so warm, and it's noon right now, so I'm fashionably late. Or unfashionably late. It's a parade, so I'm missing shit. So I'm here, and I just wanted to show you, Portland is its own breed. This is the beach. There's a little inlet down there where some folks are doing some things. I saw somebody blowing some bubbles, so we're gonna go check it out and see what it do. Try and film as few people as possible, but this is actually kind of cute. Urban mermaid event. It's adorable. Looks like that's the beach. See one dude over there swimming. That's what it is.
I came over to say hi. Usually we just water.
Welcome everybody to the 6th Annual Portlandia Mermaid Parade. Let's get some excitement. Thank you so much. I am your host, Una the Mermaid, and I've been a mermaid entertainer here in Portland since about 2012. So this celebration is really, it started as an opportunity, honestly, for me and my mer friends to just kind of celebrate what we do. And then we decided to see if other Portlanders wanted to join us, and it turns out other folks like to play mermaid too. You know, this theme or event this year is Rainbow Waters, because we are many waters, but all waters lead to one ocean. And the truth is that we are living in a time of great polarization. Anger and hate is growing. And the mermaids are discontent. It disrupts our realms. So we are here to say that we need to bring healing and connection. We need to embody the values of radical acceptance and love in order for humanity to move forward in a better place together. And so this is an opportunity to acknowledge radical acceptance and inclusion. And in case you haven't noticed, the Mermaid Parade is an inclusive event. We celebrate all bodies because all bodies are beautiful. Not all hearts are beautiful though, right? So that's why we're here, to spread a little bit of love and acceptance and to create a place where people can feel comfortable and have fun. With that being said, we have taken some time to ask some members of our community, right? So we mermaids, we're an apolitical event. We're not a protest. We're not an activist group in that way. We just do us, right? We're just ourselves. But we belong to many of the communities, right, that are being targeted by hate and injustice and inequity. And a lot of those issues are getting a little bit too close to home for comfort. And so we thought we would use this year as an opportunity to say, hey, the mermaids have something to say about this.
Can I get a shell, yeah? Shell, yeah! Can I get a shell, yeah? Shell, yeah! I'm Mermaid Tunzi Way. I do identify as a mermaid, she, her. What that means to me is that I love really big and I'm pansexual. I also like really sparkly things. I'm going to talk about the origin of merfolk. But what I want to say is that in the research that I've done, merfolk and magical beings are many times shapeshifters, which means they appear as male and female. They are fluid by nature. Where there is water, there are mermaids. From the oceans, rivers, and lakes to the springs, waterfalls, and seas of the world. As far back as 3,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, that area we call the Middle East, tiny mermaid statues were found, and it was said that people carried them around with them as amulets for like good luck, prosperity, fertility. Merfolk appear in folklore from cultures all around the world and date back thousands of years. Mermaids like Astragoras and Derceto are among them. In both ancient Africa and Mesopotamia, there are legends of fish-like people coming out of the water, bringing culture and knowledge and art. Whew. Most are protectors of women and children, and of course, all waterways. They are both adored and feared. Sweet, loving, and helpful mermaid goddess by day, granting prayers of fertility, wealth, and good weather. Predatory, vengeful, murderous sirens by night, sinking sea vessels and sending storms. In folklore, merfolk are typically characterized as beautiful maidens or men with half fishtails that sing, luring sailors and dragging them to the bottom of the sea, or pursuing unrequited love or betrayal in relationships with humans, such as our double-tailed Melusine, Pania of the Reef from Oceania, and Acaia from the Caribbean islands. While in the world mythological legends, merfolk are described as gods, deities, or water spirits, often appearing in half human, half fish. But they are shapeshifters and can take on any form they choose. Merfolk in many cultures are said to be diabolical creatures that lure people to their deaths. The Njuju are blamed for human disappearances in the rivers and lakes of Zimbabwe. So are the Mandao, as well as bad weather and water disasters. They are joined by that in the Karoo mermaid who lives in the springs of the South African desert. Yes, a desert has mermaids, people. And Lambasta from Turkey and Central Asia. In Africa, goddesses, there is Mamiwata, mother of the waters, from whom all other African goddesses sprang. She is said to have given birth to all humankind. The waters of the earth are said to be her birthing waters. In West Africa, she is the Orishas, or Yoruban deities, Yamaya and Oshun. Manifestations of these three can all be seen in mermaid legends of the African diaspora, in the Caribbean, in Haiti, all over. La Sarene and Mama Delu are some. They are still worshipped today. This is also the case with the Indonesian goddess in Java called Nyai Ruru Kedu. She's given offerings every Thursday. They go down to the water and give offerings to her. Still, in Chinese folklore, mermaids are described as beautiful creatures, able to turn tears into pearls. They were seen as gentle, mild, and a blessing of the sea. In some of Japan's legends, merfolk are grotesque creatures bringing warfare to the land if their bodies were found upon the shore. Korea has folktales about a goddess, Shinjiki, who resides in the oceans and seas and warns fishermen of storms and impending doom by singing and throwing rocks into the sea. Among the Nordic peoples exists Ran, goddess of the northern sea, while Aegir, wife to Aegir, and just one of the 9 great sea sisters ruling the aspects of the ocean. Ran is said to capture souls of drowned seafarers in a huge net and usher them to Aegir's Hall of the Dead, a resting place similar to Valhalla, but for seafarers. From the Celtic people, we get the Merrow, androgynous sea beings with green skin and hair. The Finn folk, who live in great underwater palaces, and the Selkies, seal people that can shift into human form. In tales of mermaids from Central and South America, we have Yara, the warrior mermaid of the Amazon River. Her descendants are still blamed for drownings and disappearances. They are said to be exacting revenge for her original drowning by her father. La Pincoya, the happy, helpful mermaid who dances on the shore of the island Chiloé off of the Chilean coast, predicting the fish catch. In Patagonia, if a sampal lives in your waterway, it will never dry up. North America has many tales regarding sea and water folk. The Mkamak peoples call them halfway people, while the Maliseet call them penguin. The Passamaquoddy have a legend about the Niwas, and the Ojibwe people speak of Nibi'inabe. In Western North America, there are stories about water babies, and the Kalupa people from right here in the Willamette Valley believed in the existence of a lake and tributary being known as Amhuluk. The waters still hold so much mystery. Are mermaids truly our watery ancestors and ancient teachers, or simply symbols humans have used to answer and explain some of these and other of life's mysteries?
Okay, there we go. Can we get one more round of applause for Aranui, please? Thank you so much. A question that has intrigued the science world for generations. Does the origin of mermaids have a scientific base? Could their existence be possible? With only 5% of the ocean discovered, that means 95% of the big blue is left to be explored. The types of marine animals that people didn't even know existed hundreds of years ago are now being found under the sea. We still do not know what lurks in the dark depths, but perhaps what science has not been able to answer yet, spiritual and cultural wisdom can. In many spiritual and cultural traditions, it is said that elemental beings have long been in existence and a part of our natural world. Some even say these beings have existed before humans, and at one time, humanity and the elemental worlds communicated with each other and knew openly of each other. Merfolk are but one type of elemental being, and at one time, merfolk shared their wisdom with humanity. Merfolk were open and giving and revealed great truths to humans in order to help humanity. Merfolk were open because they wanted to help humanity live in more alignment with the natural kingdoms so that there could be peace and harmony among them. The great utopian city of Atlantis was built as a result of the relationship between humans and merfolk at that time. Unfortunately, as humans began to grow in their knowledge and abilities, so too did their desire for power, greed, warfare, and violence. Humans started to become obsessed with domination over the natural world, destruction, and self-desire.
That's right, we used to live down there, but there were actions we could not forgive down there.
This desire sent a ripple effect across the elemental realms, and the great city of Atlantis fell. It was determined by the merfolk that humans were not developed enough in their consciousness yet to receive the gifts of the elemental world. It became forbidden to speak, interact, or engage with humans. The merfolk were scattered across the ends of the earth, and many even went into hiding, as the water, the air, and the lands were filled with fire and poison. With their advanced abilities and technology, the merfolk opened a doorway into a parallel realm, and entered into it, never to be seen again. This realm sits alongside of us, but remains unseen, except for the few who are awakened enough in their abilities to see and sense beyond this veil, separating the two worlds. It is said that some who walk among you now may even be merfolk. They have incarnated into human form, or are biological descendants of the children produced from the relationships that were once between merfolk and humans long ago. We acknowledge that we are here on Kalapola Hili, the traditional indigenous homeland of the Kalapuya peoples, who were dispossessed of their indigenous homeland by the U.S. government and white leaders over several years, but most notably in treaties between 1851 and 1855. The Kalapuya people were forcibly removed to what are now the Grand Ronde and Siletz reservations, and are members of the Confederate Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon, the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians, and continue to make important contributions in their communities. We share this information out of humility and respect for the indigenous homeland that we stand on at this moment, and for the indigenous peoples of the Willamette Valley who continue to live and thrive in what is now called the state of Oregon. We will now call upon the elemental forces of creation. We call upon Spirit.
Here and now, deep within our hearts, we invoke Spirit. We call upon the breath of life. To web all creation, the thread that binds us all. Let us remember our connection to all things.
We call upon Earth, the personification of stability. We call upon water, the personification of healing.
Here and now we invoke the elemental force of water, the falling rain, trickling streams, rivers, and ocean waves. Source of life, ever-shifting, ever-cleansing. Streams of consciousness and collective will. Carry the dreams of peace and positive change within your currents for a brighter future for all.
We call upon air, the personification of thought and mind.
Here and now, the elemental force of air. Now it's now. Whisper the carry our little thoughts, set our purpose to the sky.
We call upon fire, the personification of will and action.
Here and now, we invoke the elemental force of fire, flames of creativity and passion, our inspiration, motivation, and inner light, are bright to shine. Light us in darkness.
The circle of magic is now open.
Just before we begin this blessing, I want to tell you about somebody named Masurio Emoto, and he is an author and a scientist. And years ago, he started doing experimentation with water and exposing it to different energies, music, vibration, and then taking photos of these flash frozen water bits or crystals and comparing them. And what he found out, in short, is that chaotic, funky, really aggressive type of music and energy and interactions would make the water molecules look like scrambled eggs. But when you brought in high vibrational energy, beautiful classical music, when you tested water from sacred wells, what happened is he found that they came out looking like beautiful snowflakes. Perfect six-sided hexagonal structures. And so when we take that information and we combine it with the fact that we know our bodies are made 70 to 80% water, but on a molecular level, we're almost 99% water. So that makes you a vessel of water. And so when you go throughout your day and you have rough encounters, what happens? You feel it in your body. You feel it in the waters in your own sacred vessel. And this is why things like energy work and prayer and chanting and music are so important.
How many of you know the story of the Little Mermaid? Most of you here, right? Okay. The story of the Little Mermaid is one of the most famous tales about mermaids, but in all of its retellings and recreations, the original meaning of the story gets lost. The original meaning written by Hans Christian Andersen himself. The original story of the Little Mermaid is about a young mermaid who falls in love with a human prince on first sight. The Little Mermaid then goes to a sea witch and trades her tail for legs and loses her voice, as we all know. Not only is she unable to now speak, every time she takes a step, it now feels as if she is walking on shards of glass every single time. All of this just to meet her prince. When she goes to shore to be with him, she meets him, they have a wonderful time, but the prince ends up falling for another woman, and they marry. The mermaid is then faced with a choice. She can either take the life of her own beloved, or she can sacrifice herself and turn into sea foam. The Little Mermaid, unable to cause harm to the person she loves so dearly, turns to sea foam on the shore. This is a story about unrequited love. A story that was written about a man who was in love with someone who did not love him back. Hans Christian Andersen fell for a man named Edvard Collin, a man that did not love him back, and he married another woman. But Hans Christian Andersen wrote him many an unsent love letter and fawned over this man his whole life. The story of The Little Mermaid is about unrequited queer love, and this is a story that is never told and it is forgotten.
I'm going to bring you some song. This is a song that's very personal to me. It's very old. Many of you might never have heard this before, but it's from way back when we started the Black Civil Rights Movement. A movement that still has to continue because we're not done with the work yet. Just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long, long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh yes it will.
I remember these boys were laughing and saying, "Oh, why would I need to think about that?" And so our teacher sat us down and said, "I know you're all just kids, and I know that you won't understand this, but as you grow older, you will feel different emotions towards different people, and some of those will be romantic, some of those will be sexually, and not everyone's going to be attracted to the same type of people." And all the kids in the classroom sat there thinking about what this meant to me. And I remember sitting there and thinking, what does this mean?
Yeah. Don't think about it, just move your body. Listen to the music, sing oh, hey, oh. Just move those left hands, go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh, hey, oh. Show the world you got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting lighter. Show the room what you can do, prove to them you got the moves. I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm splashing, yeah. Better when I'm splashing, yeah.
Now, the moment we've been waiting for. Welcome to Rainbow Waters. As said earlier, there are many waters, but we all lead to the same ocean. Each year, the Portlandia Mermaid Parade elicits nominations from the community to recognize individuals who are doing outstanding work and are deserving of recognition of one of these 4 areas: environmental stewardship, inclusion, community building, social justice, and equity. This year, the Portlandia Mermaid Parade is amplifying the work of some very special individuals who have been contributing a lot in the ways of LGBTQIA+ justice and inclusion right here in Portland. These individuals were selected on the basis of their commitment and dedication to cultivating radical acceptance and justice for the queer, trans, and gender diverse. This year, we had 2 categories for nomination: social change through art and performance, and social change through direct action. Our Mermazing Citizen Award for the social change through art and performance goes to Isaiah Esquire and Johnny Newring, better known as the dynamic performance duo Izani. Let's welcome Izani, everybody. On stage and in life and through love, this married couple continues to break down barriers of gender, sexuality, culture, and age.
We are so incredibly honored to be your Mermazing citizens. You are such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful merfolk. We feel very welcome, feel very safe, and very honored and celebrated in this moment. It's so beautiful to see all the young ones out, shining and sparkling. This really is all about y'all, okay? So we need you to shine so brightly when we march down these streets that people are inspired to smile and laugh and cheer and dance and join us. Yes? Yes. It's really an honor to be seen and to see all of you in this beautiful moment. So thank you so much.
Sorry, my voice is a little bit deeper and a little. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Or can you hear me now? Okay, I'll talk right here. But I have to set this down because I need all of my attention to do this. Okay, so I have the glasses on because my eyes are swollen from the shoes and stuff. But I do kind of I need to be able to see you all, to thank you for showing up. Thank you for the energy that you're providing to this space. Thank you for being willing to be seen, for dressing up in something fabulous, for being next to someone fabulous, and feeling that power yourself. That is the reason why we're doing this work, is to show that you can be all of the things. Yes, all of the things. You do not have to choose just one or two or three, and so that's the work that we've been doing. So we go around and we perform and we dance, and he does fire and aerial, and he sings, and he has LED props and does all the things. And I teaching movement to children and to adults and to seniors. And the whole point is to make you feel emboldened. And so we used to go to different conservative states and bring this queer cabaret, showing that basically we want to be strong for the ones that can't be strong in a moment. And so we can be strong for you. And if you have enough courage and energy in yourself to step out and to be seen in the light, you make it easier for the person next to you. And so when you have that, do share that. It is not your responsibility to always do that, but our responsibility as people is to lift up and to shine as bright as we can, to make it more livable and easier for all of us. So that is the work that we're doing, and we know that you're all capable of doing that yourselves. We hope that you are, and if not, here is the invitation to do so. Yes? Yes, you can tell I'm a teacher, huh? Yeah? Okay, making sure you hear me. Everyone put 2 fingers up and you can hear me. Okay, great. Okay.
Through direct action is Katie Cox, Executive Director of the Equi Institute, Portland's first queer trans specific wellness center in Portland, providing gender-affirming health and medical care for trans, queer, intersex, and gender-diverse communities.
I was so humbled and delighted and honored to receive the news from Una that I had been nominated for this award. It really mermaid my day. I believe it's our responsibility as a community of LGBTQ, AI2S+, and allied people to create a soft landing for the droves of trans and queer people who will continue to flock to our state and to our city, seeking asylum from the grips of anti-LGBTQ discrimination. I encourage you to support the Equi Institute and organizations like it, including PDX Trans Housing Coalition, Q Center, Gather Make Shelter. If you don't know, if you're not very familiar with any of those organizations, I recommend you look them up. They're all doing great work. donate, volunteer, organize with us for an inclusive and safe community that we can feel proud to be a part of. Because healing is an act of communion, and everybody deserves to celebrate a life free of discrimination.
All right, guys, hold on to it. Just one more activity, and then I promise you we're going to be launching this parade in just a moment. But now we're going to do an interactive activity that we always wrap up our ceremony with, and this is what we call our shell intention. And what's going to happen is Anne, our water priestess, is going to come back, and she's going to lead us in this activity. And you'll notice we have our merfolk here with the shells around the circle, and in those shells are other shells. And you're going to be coming up in a moment, and if you want to, of course you don't have to participate if you don't want to, but we encourage it. But you're gonna come up, and Amron will give us some instructions, and you're gonna grab one of those shells, and that's your wish shell, right? So mermaids are all about releasing and letting go to the water. And so in this shell that you grab, you're gonna put either a wish, an intention, or something that you wanna let go into that shell. And then what you're gonna do, our lovely jellyfish here with the larger shell, you're gonna put your intention into that big shell, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of your intentions, we mermaids. We're gonna gather your wishes and all of your intentions, and we're gonna fill it with our magic, and we're gonna take those with us when we go down to the parade, and we will release them into the river when we end at our ending spot. So I'm going to go ahead now and pass it to Anwin, and she will lead us in this closing activity.
Hello again. Okay, so do you remember what we did before, where we visualized ourselves as chalices, and then we focused on certain energies we wanted to bring into those chalices? Well, we're going to take that a step further, and now we're going to concentrate on this big bowl of water. This sacred vessel, or chalice, very big chalice. And collectively, we're going to use sound, chanting. I'm going to help you with that in just a moment. And we're going to collectively charge this bowl of water with particular energy. And then I and some of the other mermaids that are over here are going to be blessing you with that water. So we're going to do a chant to charge this water, and then we're going to return that water back to you and to the land. And it's a hot day. I think it's time that we get a little splash happening. So it's 3 words, and they're really easy and very, very potent and important words. And they are justice, acceptance, and equity. So we're going to chant those 3 words together, and we're going to get loud. And when you're chanting, I want you to send your voice and all of the vibrations that you feel in your body right to that bowl of water, right there. And when you say something, when you sing, when you chant, you can feel the vibrations right through here. That's what we're going to charge the water with, our vibrations, our energy. So justice, acceptance, and equity. All right, last time, let's make it loud. Guys, are you ready? Here we go. Justice, acceptance, and unity. Equal waters of unity. Shower your blessings upon you and me. Thank you. All right, so this part here is where the fun comes in. Are you guys ready? Yes. I'm going to put the mic down, and then if I could have my 4 elementals join me here in the center, and we can chant justice, acceptance, and equity.
want to shield the camera from this part.